Hello, students. Welcome to our English classes of grade 5. Today, we are going to learn the first chapter, Monkey Trouble, from our English textbook, Module 1. At the end of your class, you will be able to read and comprehend the paragraph, enrich your vocabulary, learn and identify more about nouns. Dear students, you can see picture of some birds. How do birds and animals survive? What do you think these birds are? Do you have any answer? Um, I think this bird seem to be in an open air, isn't it? Where could they be going? Any guess? Okay, let me say about my guess. They could be going in search for food. Do you watch anything unusual about the birds in the picture? Yes, the birds in the picture are much bigger than the birds we see around us. Look, they have very long neck and legs, and they are walking together instead of flying. Why do you think some birds and animals prefer living in groups? Do you have any idea? Okay, I will tell you. Please listen. Some birds and animals prefer to live in groups. You know why? Because they feel safer in groups. Also, they will find it easier to find food and shelter, or to protect and help each other in a group. If your parents allow you to keep a pet in your home, what animal will you choose? Which animal do you want to keep as your pet? Write a small paragraph about this. Okay, now let's move on to the lesson. Dear students, you can see a picture on the screen now. Can you create a story based on this picture? Look the picture carefully and make a story and share the story with your friends. Okay? Today we are going to learn a small story written by Ruskin Bond, Monkey Trouble. I have shared the biography of Ruskin Bond. He was born on 19th May in Himachal Pradesh. His famous novels are there: The Room on the Roof, The Fight of the Pigeon, The Blue Umbrella are some of the famous book, and the awards that he received is also given there. So let's start our lesson. Do you have any guess about the story? What could be the story about? Who or what could the monkey be troubling? Do you think the story has an element of mystery, suspense, or humor in it? Let's read. Let's start. Take page number 2 of your course book. We are starting. Grandfather brought Tutu from a street entertainer for 10 rupees. The man had 3 monkeys. Tutu was the smallest but the most mischievous. She was tied up most of the time. The little monkey looked so miserable with a collar and a chain that grandfather thought she would be much happier in our home. Grandfather liked to keep unusual pets. Let's see what is there in the first paragraph. Grandfather bought Tutu from a street entertainer. Street entertainer means those who goes around the street singing, playing on instrument and making monkey dance for money. So grandfather happened to see a street entertainer. He brought Tutu for 10 rupees. The man already had 3 monkeys with him, but Tutu was smallest and he was little bit naughty also. Tutu, she was a girl, so she was tied up most of the time because of her naughtiness. The little monkey looked so miserable with a collar and a chain. She was tied up, she was having a collar and a chain. So grandpa thought that if I bought her and if I take her home, she will be free and she will be happier. See, grandpa liked to keep unusual pets. Now let's see what are the unusual pets that grandpa is having. At first, grandma refused to have a monkey in the house. You have enough pets as it is, she said, referring to grandfather. Got several white mice and a small tortoise. See what are the unusual pets that grandpa kept in their home. Goat is there, white mice is there, a small tortoise also there. So at first grandma refused to kept a monkey in their home because already grandpa is having so many pets. That's why grandma don't allow grandpa to bring Tutu, the little monkey, to home. Now let's see what happens. Will grandma allow? But I don't have any, I said. You are mischievous enough for 2 monkeys. One boy in the house is all I can take. But Tutu isn't a boy, said grandfather. This is a little girl monkey. Grandmother gave in. She had always wanted a little girl in the house. She believed girls were less mischievous than boys. Tutu was going to prove her wrong. See, but grandma, in the earlier paragraph, we discussed that grandma refused to allow keep Tutu in their home. What is the reason? Because grandpa is already having so many pets, and the boy is asking grandma to allow him to keep that pet because he is not having any pet. But grandma is giving the reply like that: you yourself is equal to 2 monkeys. One boy in the home is enough. I cannot take care 2 boys. So grandpa is telling like this, but Tutu isn't a boy. Tutu is not a boy, she's a girl. She's a little girl monkey. At last grandma gave in. Gave in means she was ready to agree with them. She always wanted a girl in the home because she believed that girls are less naughtier than boys. But our Tutu was going to prove that she was wrong. Girls are not that much mischievous than boys. Let's see what's going to happen. She was a pretty little monkey. Her bright eyes sparkled with mischief. She had a wide grin which showed her white teeth and terrified on Ruby. Our Tutu is pretty. She is a pretty little monkey. Her bright eyes shone with mischief. She had a wide grin. Grin means a big smile, which showed her pearly white teeth, and that terrified Aunt Ruby. Terrified means frightened very much. One of the first thing I thought to do was to shake hands, and she insisted on doing this with all who visited the house. Major Malik would have to shake hands with Tutu before he could enter the drawing room. Otherwise, Tutu would climb onto his shoulder and stay there, playing with his hair and mustache. Her tail worked as the third hand and added to her good looks. Grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks. Here, the first thing that the boy teached our Tutu was to shake hand, and she insisted on doing this with all who visited their home. Major Malik, when he wanted to enter their room, first thing he wanted to do is give Tutu a shake hand. Otherwise, Tutu would climb onto his shoulder and start playing with his hair and mustache. And one of the interesting thing about our Tutu is her tail worked as the third hand and added to her good looks. It make her look more beautiful. Grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good look. Grandpa believed that if anyone got a tail, it's very good for their look. Here we are going to stop today's class. Just we will have a small revision of what we have learned till now. There was a monkey. Once Grandpa brought a little monkey from a street entertainer. It was little, very naughty monkey. When Grandpa brought it home, Grandma at first disagreed to keep that monkey home. When she come to know that it's a little girl, she allowed Grandpa to keep that monkey with them. And in the coming paragraph, we clearly learned more about Tutu. Tutu is a pretty little monkey. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. She had a wide grin which show her pearly white teeth, and moreover that her tail worked as her third hand. The first thing that Tutu was taught was to shake hand, and she loved to do it to everyone who come to visit. And she loved to play naughty things with Major Malik because she is a little mischievous monkey. Now let's listen to some of the word meaning. Street entertainer. In the picture it's very clear. Someone who goes around the street singing and playing an instrument or making monkeys dance for money. Gave in, accept something she is had not agreed to at first. Grin, big smile, usually baring the teeth. Terrified, frightened very much. Terrified means frightened very much. Now let's revisit whatever things we have learned so far. How is Tutu different from the other monkeys? Which other pets does grandfather have? What are two uses of Tutu's tail? If you can answer this question, that means you have comprehended the paragraph enough. If you can't answer, don't feel bad. Read the paragraph once again. I'm sure you all will be able to answer this question. Now let's move on to the grammar activities of our lesson. Today we are going to learn about nouns. I know you all have studied about nouns from your small classes. So today we are just having a revision of whatever you have learned so far about nouns. You are ready? What is a noun? Name of a person, place, thing, or an idea is called a noun. You know there are different types of nouns are there. Let's recollect the things which you already have learned. First is of proper noun. Proper noun is a name of specific person, place, thing, and idea. Proper noun means boy is a common noun, but Ali, it's a specific name for the boy. So, proper noun is a special name given to someone. Next one which we are going to learn is common noun. Non-specific names or the names which we use in common is called common nouns. Common nouns, person, place, thing, and idea. The names which we use in common is called common noun. Let's check it whether you got it or not. Okay, a small question is there. Read that one. Bobby walked to the store late yesterday. What type of noun is store? Yes, very good. It's a common noun because store is a common noun which we can use for any store. If it is Bismi store, the word Bismi is proper, so it's not a common. Understand? The next noun we are going to learn is countable noun. As the name itself, it's clear that the nouns which we can count is called countable noun. Here, apple is there. Apple is a countable noun. Why? Yeah, we can count apples. Let's see. Countable nouns have a singular and a plural form. Apple is a singular. Apples is the plural form. With countable nouns, we can use a singular verb or a plural verb. The apple is delicious. These apples are delicious. We can use both is and are with countable nouns. Listen, Emily drinks milk every morning. She loves milk. Here, the word milk is highlighted. Can you guess whether milk is countable or uncountable? Milk is uncountable noun. Why? Because we cannot count the milk. Uncountable nouns are nouns we cannot count because we cannot say a milk, a 10 milk, 100 milk, a water, a sugar, a oil. We cannot say like that. And they only have a singular form, milk, milks, oils, waters. There is no a plural form for this. Only we will be having a singular form. Countable Nouns always use a singular verb. See, milk is white. We won't say milk are white. So, children, you will be having a doubt. How can we count an uncountable noun? Or how do we measure an uncountable noun? See, to count or quantify an uncountable noun, we use a unit of measurement. Some examples are given here. 2 loaves of bread, 2 slices of bread, 1 kilogram of sugar, like it moves on. Let's see more examples. A piece of cake, 2 spoon of sugar. Let's see more uncountable nouns. What are they? Materials like wood, steel, gold, paper, wood are uncountable nouns. Why? Because we cannot count it as singular or plural. That's why they are called uncountable noun. Now let's do a small activity. Mark the highlighted word as countable C or uncountable as you see nouns. You have to complete it. I will be sharing the answer through our WhatsApp group. So students, here come to an end of today's class. Hope you all got this. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.